Hey everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and it is early. We are here with the Terry presentation for Smash Bros. It's like 6 in the morning for this 45-minute presentation. It's very long. I do not know what on earth they have that they're going to talk about for 45 minutes. I think they already said that there's not going to be a new fighter or a fighter trailer beyond Terry himself. So no newcomers apparently, but I'm still curious to see what else they have, even if Terry himself is rather uninteresting to me. Looks like Truck Stop Ken over here, but I guess they probably want to give some background on him because I guess not a lot of people have heard about him, at least compared to Street Fighter or Pac-Man or any of these other third-party characters. He's a little bit more obscure. So, they got that. I'm more interested to see, Mii costumes. Who does it potentially disconfirm? I guess Mii costumes aren't a hard disconfirmation, but they're probably a disconfirmation. So, hoping that we don't see my boy Byleth here. But other than that, just curious to see what Sakurai's got for us. What on earth is he gonna fill 45 minutes with? He should talk to me. I'm good at filling up time with complete nonsense. Maybe he can play the harmonica, or I don't know. I'd watch it. I'd watch 45 minutes of Sakurai playing a harmonica. But yeah, video's about to start. Let's go. Alright, there we go. Hello, Sakurai!
Hello everyone, this is Masahiro Sakurai from Sora Limited. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game was recently honored with 5 awards at this year's Japan Game Awards.
Oh, congrats!
It's received a great many awards on top of that as well. Each award is very meaningful to me, so I would like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks to all those
You deserve
who
it,
voted
man.
And to all those who have supported us. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's begin the presentation. First, we'll start with what the Neo Geo is.
Oh wow.
It refers to a 1990 video game console for use in arcades and at home.
I was joking about him giving an in-depth history, but he's going in-depth. He's got to explain the console itself.
Had only
Jeez.
just released in Japan, so if you wanted to play arcade games at home before then, the only option was to play the less polished ports on the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, with the Neo Geo system,
Man,
you
don't
could play
insult
the arcade
Nintendo like
versions of
that.
games at home
That's your
with no
console.
quality. 1990 was right around the year that I started working for a game company. Back then, Japan had rental services for arcade games. In other words, you could go to a rental store, rent an arcade game, take it home, and play it. After that, they were sold for home use, but a single game would cost about 30,000 yen. That's expensive. But if
What's
you
that
think
in
about it,
American
compared
bucks?
to playing a game
I
in
can't
the
do math,
arcade
okay?
300 times at 100 yen per play,
So,
you're getting your money's
yeah.
worth. At the time, some people actually thought this was cheap. I mean, there really are people who've played games in the Super Smash Bros. Series 1,000 or even 10,000 times. Anyway, the MBS, as it was
Fair
called
enough.
then, was sold in various places, and for an arcade machine, it wasn't all that expensive. You could also get them on lease. That's why you'd end up seeing lots of candy stores having a Metal Slug cabinet. The home version of the Neo Geo came with this controller. Can you see? It has 4 buttons. And this is the actual console itself. Here is the reset button.
Kinda into this
Here to
music.
slot in the big game cartridges. This is the Neo Geo. Just kidding. Actually, this is the Neo Geo X, the portable version that was released afterward. You could also insert it into this docking station and play it as a home console. Beat Nintendo
Yo, so it's a
Switch
Switch? It's the old Switch?
a portable, multi-purpose console. Updated iterations of past systems are emblematic of the Neo Geo. Next, let's talk about what Fatal Fury is.
Yeah, I think
Released in 1991,
yeah, it's a
the same
fighting
year as Street
game
Fighter
like
2.
like Street Fighter.
But this one came
Which is probably why I haven't actually heard about it. To be honest, I'm not huge on fighting
Like many of
games.
the other
Smash is
Fatal Fury
Smash is like the
often
one.
regarded as a title that was developed to
That
capitalize on
and
the
I
popularity
liked
of
Soul
Street Fighter
Calibur on
2,
the
but that's
GameCube
not
because it
really
had Link in it.
Actually, both Street Fighter 2 and Fatal
Put
Fury
Talon
were
in
developed
Smash.
using the original Street
Talon
Fighter as a
rocks.
foundation. In fact, the development of Fatal Fury was started by one of the planners of Street Fighter. Did I just hear you say wow? This one is also a multiplayer-focused fighting game. In the story, someone named Jeff Bogard is killed by Geese Howard. Geese Howard starts up a fighting tournament in Southtown, which he runs. To avenge his father's death, Terry enters the tournament, which is known as King of Fighters. I mentioned the term King of Fighters, something you may have heard before. Yes, there's actually a popular series called The King of Fighters, and that series was named after the fighting tournament within the world of Fatal Fury. And Terry Bogard, who is the protagonist of Fatal Fury, also appears in all the games in the King of Fighters series as one of the main characters. If you want to play a game from either of the Fatal Fury series or the King of Fighters series, many of them are available now on Nintendo Switch as part of the Arcade Archive series. You may not know which one to play first, but my recommendations from the Fatal Fury series would be Fatal Fury Special. From the King of Fighters series, my recommendation would be the King of Fighters 95. But if you want to play a fighting game with all sorts of strategic elements, then I recommend the King of Fighters 98.
Dang. I always feel bad because like
Next, I'll give you some insight on Terry
Sakurai plays all the games.
Actually,
Like
this video was recorded
he
about
makes
1
my
month
my
prior
lack
to
of
its
knowledge
release.
feel so
That's because we need
bad.
to translate and edit videos like this one, and that takes time. The game footage you see here is not from the final production ROM, so please understand that there may be some elements
Fair
that
enough.
differ from the final game. Since we have the opportunity,
Oh,
I
man.
want to talk about
Don't worry,
Terry
I get it.
using a lot of SNK lingo, meaning in this discussion, the younger generations may feel a little out of the loop. But there's nothing to worry about. When we released the original Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros., I was often asked, who is Samus? Whether or not the character is fun to play
Fair.
as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone.
fair enough.
I want to
fair
make
enough.
sure I present Terry
My
to
boy
you in
Lucas,
such a way that you can fully
Nobody
understand
knows him.
So thank you. Okay, let's begin.
Nah, man. I'm fine with trying new characters. I wouldn't have played Persona if Joker hadn't
This is
been
Terry
added
Bogard
in.
in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I just really don't have
He's
any
still
clue
wearing
who
an
this
outfit
is,
that
so he
reflects the
wasn't
era of
hyped
his
for me to
original
see.
game,
But
we did our best to
But
make
we'll give
him
him a
look
shot.
cool in a variety of ways. When he stands next to Ryu, it almost makes you wonder, is this really a Super
I just
Smash
like
Brothers
to-
game? Doesn't it?
I just like
Just like
to make
when
jokes.
you're playing one-on-one, he'll face the opponent. Actually, he always looks in the opponent's direction. Even if you move him to a location behind the opponent, he'll quickly turn around, always keeping his focus on the opponent. Let's talk about his moves. His neutral attacks are jab, body blow, and high kick. Each move is something familiar from the Fatal Fury series. And his dash is power charge. This is a move you can use in Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special, and others. In the original series, it was one of his special moves. His tilt attacks are middle kick, rising upper, and underkick. Compared to Ryu, his attack speed is slower. This is to match his original series. Now for smash attacks. First up, backspin kick. This smash attack is the equivalent to his strong attack, but the motion is even cooler than in his original series. Next, wild upper and slide kick. Both are from the original series. Then his midair moves. Jump, then chop. Jump, then kick. Jump, then backward kick. And then somersault kick. However, this somersault
I'm
kick
sure this is
not
way
included
cooler
in
if
the
you
original
actually
series.
know the original
But we needed
games
a move
to
that
see
could
how
stop.
close it is, but
So we created a new move.
uh,
Also, jump and then karate punch for a down air attack. If you successfully pull off a down air, it's possible to attack with a meteor effect, as you can see here. It's basically like Ryu's. Next, I'll cover his throws.
it's basically like
His forward
Ryu's.
throw is his familiar buster throw.
Could've
His
just-
back throw is
could've
also
just said-
buster throw.
He's Ryu Echo.
And his down throw
Nah.
is neck breaker drop. In fact, he used it in the game Fatal Fury: Wild Ambition. I miss playing that game on Hyper Neo Geo 64. And then, his up throw is grasping upper. This sort of dodge attack can be performed after a spot dodge. I mentioned dodge attack, and this actually does exist. During a spot dodge, immediately press the button to counterattack. During a dodge attack, your upper body becomes invincible, so this kind of move gives you the advantage when you counterattack. Now for his special attacks. His neutral special, with just the B button, is Power Wave.
No, that's Lloyd's demon
Depending on
thing.
how long you
What are
press
you
the
talking
buttons,
about?
You'll use one of two types of special attacks, weak and strong. This one is weak and kinda slow, and this one is strong. Fast, isn't it? For Ryu, in his original game, you used 3 buttons, so there were weak, medium, and strong attacks. For Terry Bogard, you could use 4 buttons in his original game, but there were only 2 buttons for punch, so that's why he only has 2 attack levels, weak and strong. This rule applies to all of his special attacks, so please keep that in mind. By the way, the attack Power Wave is a move that shoots energy along the ground, but how does it look in the air? In his original game, you couldn't use this move in the air. This is how it looks now. As of the King of Fighters 96, the Power Wave ability had a shorter range, so we've recreated that version of the move. It's a useful move in midair and helps keep opponents in check. Next, we have a special performed while holding in the direction of your opponent, Burning Knuckle. This move also has a weak and strong version, as well as a command input. Like the Hadouken command input from Street Fighter II, you perform this command using the directional inputs, down to the side in the direction of your opponent, and then press the button.
Jeez.
Doing so makes the move a bit stronger. This means that Burning Knuckle has 4 variations: weak without command input, and strong without command input, weak with command input, and strong with command input. The strong version uses
Yo,
the command
Sakurai,
input,
I
which
don't
of
have
course
20
is
years of
powerful.
fighting game experience.
You'll hear
I
noise
can't
when
use
you
your
enter the
character.
command. And if you've succeeded, you might also notice some green mixed in with the flames. It may be slight, but there is a difference. The strong version with the command input really is strong, even capable of KOing opponents. It can be blocked, however, so be on the lookout for that. In such a case, you'll be left wide open. And this is a first for the Super Smash Bros. Series, but the side specials are split into 2 versions, a back special and a front special. That means there's one more
So I
side
guess
special
that's
than
his-
usual, Crack Shoot.
That's
is a
gonna be
familiar
his
move
like
from his
special
original
unique
games.
sauce.
There's also a command input version. It's performed by using the directional buttons down to the back, followed by the A or B button. The command version can launch your opponent quite a bit further. It creates a bit of an arc, so it can be used as an anti-air attack when your opponents try to hit you. At close range, if you happen to be blocked by a shield, it's hard to be counterattacked because you'll pass through them. There's something I want you to remember. When you do a crack shoot off screen, this is how it will look.
Rip.
Terry swings with his whole body when using the
That's what
burning
would
knuckle
happen every
crack
time I
shoot,
try and
so it
use
can be
him.
hard to recover. However, if you keep pressing backwards without inputting commands, you should be able to initiate crack shoot in the direction you're trying to recover. Let me show you one more time. Do this, then continue to press backward. And then you can recover.
Hurts my
If you
head.
press too quickly or input some
Maybe it's
command,
just too
you'll
early.
fly right off the stage, so be careful. And this is his up special, Rising Tackle. It also has weak and strong versions, each with differing heights. And did you notice that if you hold down briefly to charge, your whole body glows a little? In this case, your whole body will be invincible.
That's pretty
at the
good.
start. Either way, your legs will be invincible. Here's an example of this
No gimps?
invincibility in action. With the standard Rising Tackle, I got completely wiped out when I threw myself at them. But with Rising Tackle's charged command version, you can't be hit at this moment, so you come out on
Slick.
top. You can
I
of
can't
course
even
use
remember to
Rising
charge
Tackle as a
Hero's
recovery as
attack
well.
or Hero's recovery all the way. No way I'll remember to do
Even after
that.
using Burning Knuckle or Crack Shoot, you can still use Rising Tackle. This is also very helpful when you're trying to recover, so please keep that in mind. His down special is Power Dunk, an attack that
That's
rises
cool.
and descends.
I'm just sick of counters.
This side, down, diagonally down command input is also known as the Shoryuken command. If you can pull it off, you'll be invincible at the start of the move.
Get
Also, you can hear a
dunked
sound
on.
when it connects, but it might be tough to make out. Now, let's talk about canceling specials. I'd really like you to keep this in mind. First, if you use a special after attacking with a standard attack, the special won't come out until the move animation has finished. That makes sense, right? But here's what happens if you cancel out of it. At this moment here, if you've successfully entered a special command input, the rest of the animation will be cancelled, allowing you to attack again immediately. I'll do that again. Throw out a kick like normal. And once your leg extends, you'll perform the move. Set it up so that when you attack, you can go straight into a special. This will increase your offensive options. Please try this out. For example, neutral attack 1, 2, and power down. This is a bread and butter combo. Aside from that, you can also get Terry to fly out and attack in an M shape. In his original game, you could only cancel attacks on the ground, but in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's possible to cancel aerial moves. The types of aerial attacks that you can cancel are limited to things like neutral air attacks or down air attacks. But I think it would be wise to use these combos to expand your offensive options. And at last, the final smash. His final
Soy sauce
smash
for
features
geese.
the Triple Geyser.
Now that's a name.
Terry will shoot 3
I like
geysers
it.
straight forward. However,
It's probably just because I like
if you think
soy
that's all,
sauce too
you're
much.
very mistaken. As you can see, if Triple Geyser connects, you'll follow up with Power Dunk and Buster Wolf. It's 3 moves in 1. It's a visually striking combo. You may be wondering what
Man, you
happened
can
to his
still just
original
feel
super special moves.
All the attention to detail that they put
Yes,
in, that's
they're here
so
too.
cool to see.
With the usual rules, when Terry's damage meter rises up to 100% or higher,
Oh,
and in
he's
standard
got
mode,
another
when
gimmick.
its overall HP drops to 30% or less, you'll see this Go icon at the bottom of the screen. At this point, if you enter this specific command, you can initiate the Power Geyser you see here. The
Power
command
Geyser is a
input
pretty cool
if I
name for
borrow
your
the way it's
move.
said in the original game, down, angle down, side, angle down, forward. Well, it's a bit complicated. Downward,
It's
then
very
backward,
complicated.
then forward. You see?
Like a pendulum.
It is an action game after all, so you get to control the direction of your punch, be it right or left. In that case, no matter which direction you're going for, just swap the right input and left input. It's like this: downward, then backward, then forward. Or down, and then the opposite direction if that's forward. And then there's his other super special move. Buster Wolf. You can initiate this one by repeating the Hadouken command input twice. Down to side, then down to side again. It can be rather difficult to pull off moves using the original game's command inputs, but you can also use simplified command inputs. In the case of Power Geyser, remember this: down, side, down, forward. As long as you
How does
input
that look
command
more
downward,
complicated?
side, to the back, downward again, and then forward, you should be fine.
Ugh.
In the case of Buster Wolf,
I don't
it's
think I will
simply
be fine,
down,
Sakurai.
side, down, side. That should be easy.
Okay, I guess it is a little simpler.
Even
I
though the
will
command
not
input is
remember that. I will
complex,
not use him
it can
enough to
still be
remember
blocked
that.
with ease. Since these moves can only
Okay,
be used when
that
Terry
balances
has
it a
taken
little.
a lot of damage, you'll be in even more danger if your opponent blocks. So they're
That's
high
fair.
risk and high
I
return.
like that.
Please save them.
I
for
like
when
that a
you really
lot.
need to make a last-ditch effort. You can use it again and again, but be careful. Your opponent may be able to predict your move and take action. Essentially, it's best to use it when it's least expected, or to cancel out of a combo, like this.
Yo, the background elements on the stage look
For
really
the
cool.
taunts, I decided to match his original game. His up taunt is "Hey, come on," from the King of Fighters series. His down taunt spins his hat like in the Real Bout series.
No,
And
like
his
Mario
side taunt
Odyssey.
is "Stand Up" from Garo, Mark of the Wolves.
That's kind of cool.
I've demonstrated him using various special moves in the game so far, and you can hear his voice. Like that. We've incorporated both his longer remarks, like Power Wave, from older titles, and his shorter remarks, like Rock You, from newer titles.
Oh, Rock You, that's what he's saying. Kind of thought he was
Here are
saying
some
Long
other
Coup.
variations. There's a good variety of colors available.
Doesn't he
across the
have
series.
a Canon Rule
Cat
63
design is slightly
version?
different in each
Like
version.
Korin?
They're based on his original
That's
games,
cool.
and we've also included some from the King of Fighters 14 and the anime series.
Dang.
He sometimes takes off his cap too. For example, it happens during his victory pose. His cap also blows away when he is defeated in stamina mode. The stage is called King of Fighters Stadium. It looks like one hardcore fighting coliseum. The text above the Jumbotron reads, King of Fighters, without the. When we talk about a game title, we need the up front, but the name of the tournament in the game's story is just King of Fighters. This is a very unique stage, and it follows some rules that haven't existed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before.
It looked like it had
The edge
walls.
is walled off.
Yeah.
In the Super Smash Bros.
That was the
series,
first thing
you
I
need to
noticed
launch
about it.
opponents off the stage.
So you need a higher
Here, however,
launch,
the
or
more
or
damage
maybe
the
you
fighter
have to
has
go up.
accumulated, the more the wall will visually react
Oh!
when they're launched into it.
Does it look
You
like?
see?
Can you break the
Eventually-
wall?
Fighters will break right through the wall.
Yeah.
There are fireworks in
That's
the background.
that's interesting.
Basically,
Yeah,
this
I
special
mentioned
feature
the
allows
fireworks.
you
That
to
looks
KO
cool.
an opponent only after they've accumulated
And I'm seeing
enough
characters in
damage.
the background. I'm sure they're actually recognizable
That
if you know
way,
the
can
series.
enjoy the battle more like you would in a traditional fighting game. When you're close
cool.
to the wall, it's possible to be KO'd even when your damage is low. It's just like in regular stages. In the Real Bout Fatal Fury series, there was a feature in which the walls could be destroyed and players could suffer a ring out when they hit the wall. This isn't exactly the same, but we made it kind of similar to that. We hope you'll enjoy playing at this stage.
I like the
All
stage.
special
I like that
rules.
idea for the stage. That could be really fun for like semi-serious matches and stuff.
By the
I don't
way,
do
there are
competitive.
guest characters in the background, right? Since we
Yeah.
have the opportunity, I'd like to introduce them to you. First up, Andy Bogard. He's the adoptive brother of Terry Bogard. Both of them were adopted from an orphanage and raised by Jeff Bogard. However, while Terry's teacher was Jeff Bogard, Andy studied under Mai Shiranui's father. He uses the Koppoken fighting style. Joe Higashi. He's one of the three main characters from earlier games in the Fatal Fury series. He's the only one that doesn't have any connection to Geese Howard. He's a Muay Thai champion. Kung Fu Ru. He's the master of the Holy Fist of 8 Ways, and he also trained Jeff Bogard. He can enlarge his body as well. Billy Kane. He's been in many Fatal Fury
There are
games
people who are
since
into
the
that.
first one, and he's the right-hand man of Geese Howard. While he appears in the first game, his costume is based on his appearances in King of Fighters 97 onwards. You can't really see his back, but the no smoking symbol is definitely there. Geese Howard. He's the big boss of Southtown, and he's the rival of Terry Bogard. Falling off of buildings is his thing. Rock Howard.
Interesting
First
gimmick
appearance
tab.
was Garo,
Yo.
Mark of the Wolves. He's the son of Geese Howard, and Terry actually raised him. That means his appearance in this
I
game
like his
at
hair.
this age with that look doesn't really jive with the timeline, but Smash is kind of like that to begin with, right? Kim Kapwan. He uses Taekwondo and considers himself a fighter for justice. His Ho'okyaku is very famous. Ryuji Yamazaki. His first appearance was in
Dang,
Fatal
how many
Fury
did you
3,
put in
and
here?
He's a criminal known as Dark Broker. He's very
We got
selfish
Skull?
and sadistic. Blue Mary. Her first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3 too.
So
She
many
uses combat
characters.
ensemble, and she's
Everyone
wicked
is here.
good at carries. Those were the characters from the Fatal Fury series, but from here on, let me introduce characters from other series.
There's more. Everyone really is here.
Asamiya. She's a Psycho Soldier. Psycho Soldier is a memorable game released
Cute pose,
in
I like it.
1986, and it was the first title to feature a fully voiced theme song within the game. This epic song was also remixed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it was recorded in both Japanese and English. Music start. Kyo Kusanagi. He's the protagonist of the King of Fighters series, and he uses the ancient martial arts Kusanagi-ryu. Speaking of the protagonist, there are differences depending on which version you're talking about, like Orochi and Nest. Anyway, he is forever a school kid. Iori Yagami. Originally, he was introduced as Kyo Kusanagi.
He was in the trailer, I think.
In the game at the time, due to his
The-
look
the
and
Terry
attitude,
reveal
I
trailer.
thought whoever created this
With
character
the
must be a genius.
invitation spinning around.
Goro Daimon. He's a judo gold medalist belonging to the Japanese team, and he likes to throw his opponents. Chang Hohen and Choi Bonge. One is an escaped convict, and the other is a slasher. They are currently undergoing rehabilitation under the previously mentioned Kim Kapwan. Ralph Jones
Those are
and
some
Clark Smith.
interesting poses.
Originally, they were main characters in the Ikari Warriors
sometimes you
series
just gotta
before
dance,
Neo
man.
Geo. They appeared as guests in the Metal Slug series too. Ryo Sakazaki, the protagonist of
Yo,
The Art of
is
Fighting.
that Goku?
The original Art of Fighting was released just before Fatal Fury 2. That means it was the first
funny.
game to implement a true super special move. How could I not include him? King. Her first appearance was in Art of Fighting, and she's a bouncer and bodyguard. She is a beautiful woman with an androgynous sense of style. Next, Yuri Sakazaki. She was kidnapped in the first Art of Fighting game, but after that, she trained hard and mastered Kyokugen Karate in just
Man,
one
I think
year.
Terry was
In other words,
ready
she's a genius.
when they first revealed him. They just needed time
So, as you
to
can
add
see,
all
we
these
included
characters in the
many-
background.
A total of 20 characters. You know, it's very cumbersome. I mean, it takes a lot of time. But so many people
Yeah.
love each and every one of these characters, even outside the confines of their individual series. So we simply had to do our best by them. By the
Dang.
way, you may have noticed that a very important character from the Fatal Fury series was not included. Yes, Mai Shiranui. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is for good boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive us.
I don't know who it is, but
My music
I can guess her
features a variety of
archetype.
tracks, and the music that plays affects which special guests will appear.
Oh,
For
that's
example,
interesting.
There's a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look forward to that as well. Okay, I'm done providing information, so now let's jump into some actual battles.
Jeez.
This time, I'm going to play the Terry route of Classic mode. On top of that, I want to try and hit the highest intensity level. Let's see if I can get all the way up to intensity 9.9.
Are we? Is the rest of the video just
Honestly, playing the game in extreme difficulty while
Sakurai's
doing commentary is extremely
classic
hard.
mode adventures?
One or the other is doable, but
I'm down
doing
for
both
it.
at once forces me to divide my attention. But that means I should do my best at both. I'll do my best. First, this route is named the King of Smash. 3 characters who have some sort of connection will appear as a set, a challenge that looks somehow familiar. Okay, the first intensity level is 5.0, so I should be fine. All battles in Terry's route are stamina battles. This stage's special KO rule that I talked about earlier isn't the best match for stamina rules, but oh well. On his route, a lot of stages feel like they're from a traditional fighting game. Okay, I did it anyway. Of course, even in this mode, it's not impossible for me to try for a KO, but normally it'll be over before then. There. Done. Looks like he's saying, give me something. Next, round 2. It's the Legend of Zelda team. Just because characters are in a team because of their similarities, that doesn't mean that they have to be from the same game. This is Let's Go to Seoul, Kim Kapwan's team. And I've got it set up so that we don't move from the bottom of Prison Tower. It would be easiest to simply knock him off the screen, but I'm not going to do that, because it's not as fun to watch. Oops, I knocked him off. Over here. It's gonna blow. Will he do it? Alright. The boomerang's not coming back. And I can't go to the edge. Oh no!
He looks good. Just he hurts my head thinking about how to play him.
The tables have turned. Cancelled it. He wears his cap backward when he does a power dunk. Now you could call this the giant stage. All the giants are lined up. Of course, the music track is Taku and Stepi. Of course, he says. You might wonder who Taku and Stepi are. But it seems like it means Tanaka and Kitamura. This track is from Fatal Fury 2. There's a giant wrestler named Big Bear, and this is his track. Regardless of the track name, it's a really famous hard rock song, so please give it a listen. The original song was called Yusha Raiden. There's that masked wrestler. Big Bear is his true identity. He's called Raiden. Jump! I'm beginning to find the intensity quite tough. Round 4. The whole atmosphere is a little different than how it's been up until now, right? We've been to arena-style flat stages, but suddenly we're at a battlefield form stage. Oh, there's an item. There's an arcade game series called Athena, and this stage uses that as a motif. Oh, he's metal. Now that I'm thinking about it, I suppose both Lady Palutena and the Athena games were possibly an homage to the Athena of Greek mythology. Plus, I wanted to do something where two characters who are similar or have similar abilities are together. It's a nice Kyokugenryu team. If I let my guard down, I'll easily be defeated, so I need to pay attention. Not bad, you. By the way, you can use moves like Crack Shoot to aim for overhead platforms, so they have some utility to them. I kept her in check. Phew, that was close. Looks like that fire bar didn't work out for her. It's getting brutal. The intensity is close to 8. You could say the opposing team is comprised of heroes from different companies. Sonic and Terry are on the stage. Actually, Sonic and Terry were both created in '91, so they're the same age. And the next year, in '92, Kirby was born. Everyone's getting old. But there's still
Oh,
active
I
youth.
feel that.
You know, it's easier to fight.
Don't
on
make
slope
me feel
ground.
old, Sakurai.
When
I
using
can't
Crack
take it.
Shoot, it's especially easy going uphill. Yikes. It's too soon to be taking this much damage. I started out with 150 HP, so I feel like I'm losing. Next, Mega Man. He was born in '87. The first Street Fighter came out in '87 as well, so that makes Ryu the same age. That was bad. Don't go off screen. He went off. I'm sorry. And now, Pac-Man from 1980 is here. Of course, this character was made by Bandai Namco Studios, but when I talk to their team, I'll call him your company's character. They always come back saying, oh yeah, our company's character. I often have these kinds of exchanges with them. Oh, that was close. But I won't give in until the very end. Because I've got a super
And with the
special.
power move, Sakurai.
How was that?
Yeah,
Not
there you
enough?
go.
I see. Well, how about now? It's bad to keep using the same
Good job,
move,
man.
Seriously. Next, you could call this Team Darkness. With the track Soy Sauce for Geese playing on the rooftop, it's got the aura of a final showdown.
I like that name still, Soy Sauce for Geese.
Oh, not good.
Uh,
Up next is Ganondorf.
when I was in middle school, there was a very brief moment in time where I wanted to own a soy sauce and pickle factory.
You can't take things lightly.
I was a weird kid. I'm still weird.
That was a bad move. Alright, can I do this without getting hit?
There you go.
Now for a scary one, Bayonetta. Yep, I'm giving this everything I've got. Oh, that was just dangerous. Pulling off that midair jump was risky. Uh-oh. She's so good. That was a beautiful move. But she couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. That will cost her a lot.
There you go.
Time for the final battle. It's not Master Hand, but Ryu, Ken, and then Terry. Art of Fighting version
That makes sense.
230000000.0 is playing. In other words, it's kind of a themed fight. He's super strong, so I have to work hard.
I can't believe he showed the whole route, though.
I'm
I
not
didn't
fixing
expect
this
him to
out
show
well.
the whole classic route.
I'm starting from 150.
Sakurai, you gotta save some
so
surprises
I
for
want to get a
people.
view before my HP dropped to 100. But I can't give up until the end. I have a super special move. But Terry is last, so he can use the same super special move. But this is no time for chit chat. It's really tough doing this while talking. Oh no! This is no good. Got it! It gets even tougher from here. I messed up a perfect shield. Here he comes. I gotta be on guard.
There you go.
Yeah, but with a power wave? If I could have pulled off a super special move, that would have been awesome. But, alright.
Sakurai is trying to style just to remind everyone, hey, I know how to play the game.
Yes, I did.
You guys think I'm just the designer. I know how to play it. Dang. You made that look easy. It took me a long time to get it with Lucas to 9-9. No, the music.
Next, let's talk about the music. This time we have something very special lined up for you. For instance, when we were deciding which songs to include in this set, we thought about concentrating on songs related to Terry, but there were a lot of big band style songs that didn't really fit the mood of battle. That aside, the music of SNK has always been great, right from the beginning. So this time, we selected tracks that could be called SNK style. Basically, we expanded the selection a bit to include series outside of just Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters. SNK songs have always been great, really. This was true before Neo Geo, and all the way from the old The King of Fighters games to the arrangements in the latest installment, The King of Fighters 14. We did a lot of digging around, and finally managed to narrow our many candidates down to 50 songs.
Jesus, Sakurai!
We never intended to do something like this, of course. So we submitted our 50 proposals to SNK, expecting them to pick out maybe 10 or 20 that they considered acceptable. But
and they approved all of them.
Okay. As a result, we've pretty much added in 50 songs.
Goddamn, Sakurai!
Have a look at the list.
And I was floored by Castlevania. This is just like,
That's
no.
how we ended up with the list
All
we
of them.
have, but we worked hard to deliver.
No wonder
something
they
fresh
have
to begin
characters
with.
up here based off what
This was
songs
a
are
very
playing.
special
Like
one-off
you
case,
can make a
and I
ton of
don't think we'll be
combinations
able
off
to
of
do the
this.
same for other series. To be honest, I think that being able to hear such a selection might make the Fighter's Pass worth quite a bit more than its price.
Yeah, I'll say.
I do hope you'll enjoy it. Challenger Pack
I'm like, hopefully they don't retroactively change the price on him.
Selected via the Spirits menu. Have a look at the background.
So you got 50
If it looks
spirits
familiar
too?
to you, you'll start feeling pretty nostalgic. Shinkiro-san's artwork is always so nice and vibrant, isn't it? You can also look forward to mock tournaments featuring each of the characters.
No.
That old school Athena and Ralph and Clark artwork really is something. Now for the Mii Fighters. Please have a look.
Yep. Here we go. Do not show Byleth, I will cry. I might cry. Do you have anyone more with music? All right, so we got just straight up Goku this time. Team Fighters. Got Light Yagami. Sure, no one's made that joke yet. Virtua Fighter. Jackie? Or, no, Akira. Jeez. I can't keep all these games I've never played straight. There's Jackie. Okay. Cool.
SNK was also involved with the Mii Fighter set this time, so
I
it
guess
has a
it-
strong fighting game influence. It
Yeah.
borrows a lot from the series Nakoruru comes from, like her wind slash attack, so I hope you'll enjoy those little
I guess
details.
with all the songs on Terry's
Moving on to Amiibo, here's the new
past.
lineup.
Oh, Amiibo.
Simon, Crom, and
Yo.
Incineroar. Each of these will be released on Friday, November
Slick.
15th.
Confirm Amiibo for the other characters. No?
Next,
Nothing.
let's discuss the details of the update. We've made some improvements to battle arenas. First, we're making it so you can send messages to each other in a battle arena. The messages are preset. So there's that,
Okay.
and also the player who created the arena can now change the rules.
Cool.
We've also added the option to play either Battlefield form or Omega form at random in the stage settings.
Nice.
Aside from that, you can now pick Elite only as an arena type. Furthermore, quick play won't be the only way to play with people you don't know. As long as the arena type is set to public and no password is set, we've made it
Yo,
so
Xander.
anyone is now free to join. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Terry is due for distribution on November 6th. If you have the Fighter's
That's
Pass,
the day,
you'll
right?
be able to get him straight away, or you can purchase him separately. Well, I think that wraps it up for our Terry Bogard showcase. I hope we were able to convey his appeal.
That was still insane. Like,
By the way,
jeez.
his reveal trailer was aired in advance. It was created using SNK pixel art. The complete version of it,
Yeah, it looked
including
really
the
good.
gameplay portion, is finally ready. I'd like to show it to you after this. Now, this is something of an inside story, but I of course wrote the plot for SNK's pixel art pack reveal trailer. When the invitation comes out, you might recall how it says, "Don't be late, S." That is not what I wrote.
Sakurai?
It makes me think, ugh, this is why I hate inside jokes. After leaving it to the staff, it snuck its way in there. I just want you to know that the S is also the Super Smash Bros. Series S. Well then, let's move on to the intro movie.
There you go. Oh, is this why he falls off the roof? Because that's his thing, he falls off roofs? Okay. This makes a little more sense with a little context. Yeah, this is the guy I was thinking of. He was this part was like the memorable part of the trailer for me. I don't know why, it was just really, it stood out. Yeah, the pixel art is really, really good.
Hey, cover! Are you okay? Hey, come on, come on!
my boy Lucas! And that Kirby looked adorable too. Dang.
We crammed in a little too much content this time. Hopefully, I'll be able to make future showcases a little shorter.
Nah, man. I love to over talk about things I'm passionate about. And boy, the passion is evident there as always. Thank you, Mister Sakurai. That was insane. So yeah, that was interesting to watch. There was a lot of stuff there, so I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Say thank you for watching with me. What do you think? Are you excited for Terry, or does he give you a total headache looking at his playstyle like it does for me? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brennan signing out.